can knock that guy out, then it's a draw.
They also haven't used the rule yet.
So you go knockout for knockout.
Boy, that rule looks like it's written by lawyers, doesn't it? Doesn't that rule look written by lawyers? So find out what's happening, because I think they were going to announce something today about Lamont Roach, GervontaDavis decision.
My sport that I've been in for 50 years. I hate what people do to it. I hate it. I don't hide that.
You ain't gonna win. I say, why not? What you talking about? He like, they ain't gonna give it to you. I say, oh, is that right?
Joe Rogan has criticized the GervontaDavis versus Lamont Roach fight, calling out possible fight fixing. He specifically condemned a controversial rule that allowed a knocked-out fighter 2 minutes to recover and return to the fight, ultimately resulting in a draw. Rogan suggested that this rule appeared to be a form of legal manipulation, hinting at potential rigging in the match.
GervontaDavis decision on the knockdown. It was a very good fight, though. Lamont Roach is very good. I was really impressed because Tank is nasty. Tank is so powerful. He's so vicious. Like his one-punch power at 135 is like nobody else in the division.
Much like the GervontaDavis versus Lamont Roach fight, appeared to be fixed, with Roach himself hinting at corruption in boxing. In the 11th or 12th round, Davis allegedly told him outright, "They ain't going to give it to you," suggesting the judges had already decided the outcome. Roach admitted that boxing often works this way, especially when facing a superstar like Davis. When the final scores were announced, Roach initially believed he had won by split decision, only to be disappointed. His reaction reflects the harsh reality of predetermined results.
You won the fight, but when the fight was over, before the judges, before the scorecards came up in the ring, were you worried that maybe you wouldn't get the nod?
Y'all know something funny? When we was talking in like the 12th round, I think the 12th or 11th, we was talking shit, right? But he like, you ain't gonna win. I said, shit, why not? What you talking about? He like, they ain't gonna give it to you. I said, oh, is that right? So, that's how boxing works. It's sad to say, that's how boxing works. I'm not like totally upset. I figured with a superstar, you won't get too much on paper. But shit, I damn sure thought I had it. Especially when they announced the score for him. I was like, oh, they gonna give me a split decision win. I was like, oh, yeah. I said, oh, shit, here it goes. But as soon as I heard that 114, I was just like, damn.
Jack Rice addressed the controversy surrounding the GervontaDavis versus Lamont Roach Jr. fight, emphasizing the adaptability of boxing regulations. He highlighted that the referee holds supreme authority within the ring, granting them complete discretion over decisions such as knockdowns and stoppages.
Also, Hernandez, when he lands the punch and turns his back and takes the knee, he gets counted. You think of Miguel Cotto against Antonio Margarito, where it was under duress and he just took that knee. And of course, my compadre right here, Chris Algieri against Ruslan Provodnikov as well. It wasn't a particular shot. You feel something, you feel discomfort, you take a knee. Those times, there's a count, dude. And I'll tell you what, Steve Willis also knew there was a count because he started counting and then stopped.
Yeah, we will get to it. There's more than one pillar of this defense for Lamont Roach Jr., but the first one's the knockdown, Chris.
Yeah, I mean, we have a ton of experts on the panel today. I'm going to speak from a fighter standpoint, just like you did, champ. And you can argue whether that right hand landed clean or if it landed hard or how hard those jabs were. It doesn't matter. Champ, when you mentioned when I took that knee against Ruslan Provodnikov, I actually didn't get hit. I was still recovering from the last knockdown when my orbital was damaged. My eye was damaged. My vision was impaired. I gave ground so I would keep my opponent off me, and I still couldn't see. So I took a knee, understanding very well that as soon as I took that knee, I was going to get a count. And I had 8-9 seconds to get up, and I had more time to get my vision back, which it did, thank God.
Well, they didn't get hit either. He threw the punch.
Yeah, he actually landed left foot. Also, yeah. Hernandez.
So, this is standard procedure here, guys.
Yeah, and we got to see. The question I have to ask, I got to start with Jack Reed. Is there something we are, as fans, aren't seeing about this knockdown that changes it? Because me, as a fan, I saw a knockdown around number 9. What's your thought?
Well, when I agreed to come on, I'm regulated by an ethics agreement that I signed, so I don't want to come on and criticize or actually defend his actions or anybody's actions. What I would like to do is just lay out the rules and regulations say in a court of public opinion, and you guys can make your own decision on what you think happened based upon what the rules and regulations are. Let me just say this. There's a difference between rules and regulations. Regulations are very strict. They're written into statute, into law. That's the operating system. And then the rules are very flexible, and they help you actually do the details.
Following the contentious draw between GervontaDavis and Lamont Roach Jr., the New York State Athletic Commission, now ISAC, acknowledged a review error that impacted the 9th-round knockdown judgment. While the commission recognized the dispute and assured that an investigation was underway, it upheld the majority draw decision despite appeals from Roach's team. The controversy surrounding the fight has sparked discussions about boxing's credibility, with concerns that such incidents could erode public trust in the sport. Maintaining transparency and fair practices is seen as essential for boxing's reputation.
The Athletic Commission is reviewing the controversial.
Yeah.
Whatever. They said they blame on the production team. The blame is on the production team. The knee, all that. They say the New York State Athletic Commission says they are reviewing the controversial no knockdown call in the March 1st matchup between GervontaDavis and Lamont Roach. Right?
Yeah.
Technical issues, right? Involving GervontaDavis taking a knee in the 9th round, blah, 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 blah. A technical issue. So apparently, they had AOL dial-up at the Barclays Centers.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah.
I mean, this story gets crazier and crazier by the minute. And I remember when it transpired, and we were talking about it.
Yeah.
And nobody was bringing up the fact. And I think if we were the only people that actually brought up the fact that they actually reviewed it. They actually reviewed it after the round.
Yeah.
And stated that it wasn't a knockdown.
Yeah.
So it started, and maybe there was some misinformation, but that's what it was said. That's what they were told. That's what the commentator were told.
The commission stated that both fighters complied with the referee's decisions during the match and found insufficient justification to overturn the result. This resolution has elicited mixed reactions from the boxing community. The fight's outcome carries significant implications for both fighters' careers. While the controversy has put Davis under scrutiny and raised the possibility of a rematch, Roach's performance has elevated his profile, creating opportunities for high-profile fights. Both fighters' next moves will be closely watched by the boxing world.
The New York State Athletic Commission has upheld Tank Davis versus Lamont Roach as a draw. Now, this is what I expected. I mean, commissions very rarely change the results of fights. Unless, of course, someone tests positive for a PED. In this case, the commission had a very poor explanation. They did admit that referee Steve Willis missed the knockdown of Tank in round 9. Sequence of events after that, for me, they should have guaranteed the knockdown. As soon as Tank took the knee, the referee started to count 1, 2, 3. But as soon as Tank came back, Steve Willis stopped the count. Secondly, when Tank went to his corner, he got his face wiped off by a towel, which is illegal in the middle of a round. I mean, even Canelo said it, that's merit for a disqualification. So I don't know how the commission can admit a knockdown should have been ruled, display a sequence of errors, and say, oh, well, the referee didn't rule a knockdown in real time, so we'll uphold the result. Seems kind of odd, but I do get it. I mean, there have been outrage. The commission overturned the result. But what I want to see now is the WBA enforce a rematch. Lamont Roach deserves a second opportunity. I'm sure the fans would want to see it as well. That's the right thing to do for the integrity of the sport.
JoeRogan has strongly voiced his opinion on the controversial draw between GervontaDavis and Lamont Roach Jr., insisting that a rematch is necessary. He openly questioned the legitimacy of the decision, stating that he did not accept the draw as a fair outcome. Rogan believes Davis cannot simply walk away from such a lackluster performance without giving fans the closure they deserve. He emphasized that boxing's credibility is at risk when questionable decisions go unchallenged. According to Rogan, the only way to settle the debate is through a rematch, ensuring both fighters get a definitive
Everybody
conclusion.
saw it. You can't get around what everybody saw. Look, it wasn't a legit knockdown like he hurt Tank. Tank did have some in his eyes, but what are you doing putting in your hair when you have a world title fight? That's crazy.
No one want to hear about it in the middle of a fight. No one cares. If a fly by, drop the ball. Bro.
Right.
Drop the damn ball. We don't care if a fly flew by your helmet or your eyes.
Yeah, nobody gives a fuck about that.
You can't be a championship fighter and taking a knee and putting on those type of performances.
Also, what are they putting in his hair? That when he's sweating, it is dripping into his eyes. Like, what is that? Bro, shave your head.
Weird, right? Yeah, exactly.
Shave your head. Who cares?
Like, don't
Why
be
you
pretty boy? You better go get this fight.
get those braids out of there?
Esteemed boxing analyst Teddy Atlas has emphasized the need for a rematch between GervontaDavis and Lamont Roach, arguing that unresolved issues from their previous encounter warrant another bout. However, he remains skeptical about its likelihood, citing a lack of accountability for the referee's decisions.
I think we know the. I think we know the answers. I think we know the answers.
But we need the rematch, and we'll get it. But I touched on last night during the live stream. It's the great Angelo Dundee with Ali when he couldn't see and he was blinded. He didn't say go out there and call a timeout, take a knee. Go and run, move until you can see. And just to be able to go out there and pull a timeout, you know, it's like being in the schoolyard. Oh, do over. Unbelievable. This has to be addressed. This can't just continue. This referee must be sat down and reprimanded. And hopefully we get some answers and we get the rematch.
We won't. I'm sorry. I'm terrible. I am, but I'm ashamed of myself. I am so cynical. But this sport has made me cynical. I'm sorry. I don't see anyone's going to reprimand this referee. I don't. What are they going to do? I mean, that's it happens too often. It's happened too often. I don't know. We need a national commission. That's the only thing I could think of, but we're not getting one right now. But the last thing I want to say to put a bow on this one, Bud, we talked about the controversial part, but I want to finish with the great part. That was high-level boxing. That was two guys at the highest level showing their skills.
Teddy Atlas criticized modern boxing, asserting that popularity and influence often dictate fight outcomes more than skill. He expressed frustration over perceived manipulated decisions, where the sport's integrity is compromised for financial and promotional gains. Atlas contends that this shift has tarnished boxing's authenticity, disappointing longtime fans and purists who value fair competition. His concerns reflect a broader debate about the sport's credibility.
I love my sport that I've been in for 50 years. I hate what people do to it. I hate it. I don't hide that. I love the fighters. I admire the fighters. I try to defend the fighters the best I can. But that was appreciated by me. To see, you know, I appreciate Floyd Mayweather. I appreciate Sugar Ray Leonard. I appreciate, you know, all those great fighters. Muhammad Ali, that, you know, Willie Pep, who I got a picture of, Will of the Wisp over here.
A crucial turning point in the fight was the referee's controversial decision not to count GervontaDavis's knee in the 9th round as a knockdown. This call, or lack thereof, has sparked widespread debate, with many believing it significantly influenced the fight's final score and ultimate result. Critics argue that had the knockdown been acknowledged, it could have altered the judge's scoring and potentially changed the outcome. Fans and analysts alike have questioned the referee's judgment, fueling ongoing discussions about the consistency and fairness of officiating in high-stakes boxing matches. The decision remains highly contested.
Listen, it's been a couple of days since that Lamont Roach versus GervontaDavis fight, and look, you fooled me once, okay? I'm gonna let y'all get that. Y'all got that. But come on, man. This was a money fight, clearly. Also, clearly, Tank lost. I mean, there's no mistaken identity there. Roach landed more punches. Tank had a higher percentage. But when we looked at the punches and the punching power, it was Lamont Roach 8 rounds to 4. And then if you take into consideration that Tank took that knee, which count as a knockdown, the ref even started counting. I mean, there's nothing even to debate here. They were tied without them even counting that. If you're supposed to have counted that part, he would have actually lost the fight. It's a win for Lamont Roach. Get your bag. Go out there and say you the only person in tie with Tank Davis. But, man, if y'all fight, y'all better fight for real. Because this, be real, man.
The initial bout between GervontaDavis and Lamont Roach sparked strong reactions from fans, many of whom expressed their dissatisfaction by booing. Their disappointment was evident, as they felt Davis underperformed. Even fellow boxer Shakur Stevenson shared similar sentiments, voicing his discontent over Davis's performance. The reactions highlighted the widespread belief that Davis did not meet expectations, further fueling the controversy surrounding the fight's outcome and overall performance.